It's the final day of Mac Water Polo's regular season. The Marist Red Foxes looking to clinch a playoff bye against the Mount St. Mary's Mountaineers out of Emmitsburg, Maryland. Greetings from inside McCann Natatorium. I'm Jeff Brault alongside Shannon Ventry. Shannon, these are two teams that we will see in the MAC tournament.
We certainly will, Jeff. Both teams have already earned berths into the 6-team MAC tournament, but seedings are on the line today. A win for Marist would mean clinching the Blue Division title in a coveted first-round bye. The Mount will have a chance to move up seeds by winning a pair of games today, starting with this one right now.
Mount St. Mary's led by senior Ana Luisa Cota, who leads the team in scoring.
The heart and soul of this team, named already to the Catino Award Watch list. She can cook from the outside and manipulates the defense to find her best shot.
Marist sophomore Paige Nagel has been a problem for opponents on the 2-meter line.
She absolutely is. You know, she's fast and she's quick, and she can absolutely rip the ball. She's scored 9 goals in the last 2 outings versus the Mount. Look to her to try and dominate again today.
She might be Marist's leading scorer. The Red Foxes notoriously do not keep statistics. In goal for Mount St. Mary's, it's junior Hannah Kaiser, who's had to step into a bigger role this season.
Yeah, she's won the starting position, and she has brought an aggressive type of play to the goal. She is one of the team's top leaders in steals.
And across the way, it's Inez Sanchez, who keeps getting better and better as a sophomore.
She absolutely does. Coach calls her the quiet assassin, and she may not be vocal, but she's an absolute gamer, and she's in every game for one thing, and that's to win.
Mount St. Mary's led by head coach Justin Vink in his first year after a stint as an assistant. Across the way, it's Chris Vidal. He with the Marist Red Foxes for his 8th season. The opening sprint is coming up next. Stay tuned. You're watching MAC Water Polo on ESPN+. Back poolside in Poughkeepsie, the Marist Red Foxes in dark caps and red suits taking on the Mount St. Mary's Mountaineers in light caps and blue suits. This the second meeting of the year between the two. Marist earning a 17-12 victory at Mount St. Mary's back on March 29th. Paige Nagel and Rachel Dean each had 5 goals for the Foxes. Ana Luisa Cota added 5 for Mount St. Mary's. They had no other player, Shannon, score more than 2, and that is a big key for the Mount. Can they find offense outside of their senior?
Yeah, that's what they're going to have to do. We know every game plan of the defense that plays against the Mount has that number 6 circled. And what's phenomenal about her as a player is that she's able to manipulate the defense, that just when you think she's out of the game plan, she finds a shot that's not there. We're going to look to Rebecca Valentine, Vieira, Curry to pick up the slack, to get the ball into whole set and to create opportunities when Kata is out of the game plan.
Marist is a team that is on the verge of locking up a bye in the upcoming MAC tournament by virtue of winning their division. 2 wins yesterday over Siena and Iona up in Albany. They are in the driver's seat, though, Shannon, still some business to be taken care of.
Yeah, it's a great position to be in, but it begs the question, is it easier to get on top or stay on top? There's playoff implications for the Mount as well. They're trying to move up from that 6th seed to try to avoid playing LIU, who will inevitably be that number 3 seed. So try to get a different positioning heading into the tournament.
That takes place in 2 weeks' time in this pool. Both Mount St. Mary's and Marist will be there. Iona has also clinched a spot coming out of their division. On the other side of the ledger, Wagner, defending champion LIU, we know we'll see them. Today's results around the league will determine if the 3rd squad from the 2nd division is either LaSalle or Villanova.
And you gotta love it too. You know, this is a really tough stretch of the season. They've been playing weekend after weekend, a few weekday games popped in there. You know, they're heading into the conference tournament, and you need to have that extra motivation to finish out the conference season hard. There's a lot going on in the classroom too. They have to balance being a student athlete. So having something on the line makes this game even more important.
Teams are ready for the opening sprint. Our officials just making sure that both sides are ready to go, that our table is set, and we are underway in the Hudson Valley. 8 minutes on the clock. 4 quarters of water polo in the penultimate game of the regular season for both teams. Marist with the first possession. Kaylee Broad wins the sprint. Here are your field players for the Foxes. We mentioned Paige Nagel at the top, Liana Hunt, Ella Baumgarten, Rachel Dean, Kendall DeBeer, a talented freshman out of South Africa, and Kaylee Broad. A start for Broad with Shanae Carrington likely to come off the bench. Got hit in the face yesterday against Iona, so a slightly smaller role for Carrington expected this afternoon. Marist shot from point sails high, and Mount St. Mary's gets a stop on the game's first possession.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of a field block there by Kata, got her fingertips on it. Great defense.
Field players for Mount St. Mary's, Beatrice Vieira, Robin Curie. We mentioned Anna Luisa Cotta at the top, Becca Valentine's the center, Heather Locke, Anita Radaley, a talented freshman who has already set the Mount single season assists record, rounds out their starting lineup. This is Liana Hunt, a junior out of Woodland Hills, California. Rachel Dean from Auckland, New Zealand, been seeing a much bigger role in her junior season. DeBeer, Nagel, Baumgarten at 2 meters, and she draws the exclusion. Robin Curie is out, and Marist has the game's first power play.
Great job by Baumgarten, really selling that exclusion. Both of Locke's hands were down, Curry's hands were down, and that's an instant exclusion.
6 on 5 for the Foxes. They look for Broad at 2 meters, but it's not there. That's a strong penalty kill by Mount St. Mary's.
Yeah, it certainly is. Again, 2 possessions killed by field players. I think Kaiser is going to be thanking her defenders.
Cotta on the counter, one-on-one with DeBeer, and all DeBeer can do is commit the foul. So the freshman excluded, and now it's Mount St. Mary's turn to operate with a man advantage.
Not a bad exclusion to have there because she was going to be one-on-one with a goalie, and that sometimes is an instant goal for a player like Kata.
The freshman Radaley swings it for Locke. Radaley always a threat. Here's Curie, tipped over the bar by Inez Sanchez. 16 in the penalty, 1 second remaining, and now the teams will swim back to full strength. Baumgarten defending at 2 meters. And Baumgarten is kicked out. That's a good job by Vieira to set up the power play.
On the last power play opportunity for Mount, we saw something kind of unique. All 3 post players in unison started swimming across. Usually it's more of a gradual switch like we see here, going from the 4-2 to the 3-3.
Lock for Radaley. And now it's Cotta. Can't find the bottom corner, it's off the post. Possession remains with Mount St. Mary's.
Valentine never giving up on that play, going after the ricocheted ball.
Team's back to 6 on 6. Radaley gets her hips out of the water and scores the first goal of the game.
What a powerful shot from that top corner. Really strong pump fake, wide open corner. And it was a beautiful pass all the way across the pool. Just look how she absolutely rips it to that top corner.
52nd goal of the year for Anita Radaley. That's 4th on the team. A freshman that has really been the missing link for Mount St. Mary's. Gives them another top option both offensively and defensively. Early lead for the Mountaineers, 3 minutes into the ball game. Another exclusion on the Mount. It's Ana Luisa Cotta picking up her first. 6 on 5 for the Foxes. Dean across to the 4-5 side. Up top, it's Nagel. Looking for a lane, and it's tipped into the back of the net.
Finally, a tip going the Red Foxes' way. The previous 2 possessions didn't go their way. But this one, it just had so much momentum, so much power behind it. Center cage, great positioning. Was able to ricochet off of, you see there, the defender's hand to donut the goalie.
Yes, Robin.
Good look at the 2-meter line. Coda's shot off the bar. Excuse me, that was Becca Valentine on the try. Valentine, a player who the last few years, Shannon, was asked to do much more in the offense. They've got more around her this year as Marist looks to counter. Slips off the hand of De Beer, well defended by Curie.
And you know, when you have to slide into all of those different roles, you're only going to become a better, more rounded player.
Marist gets the steal in the middle of the pool. That's a smart foul by Locke to slow the break. Nagel swims under. And Nagel's able to draw the exclusion.
Great spin move to get Radadali on her back, get those hands down, and draw the exclusion.
So Radaley out for the first time. 6-on-5 for the Foxes. Nagel has Marist lone goal. Dean at point. Nagel misses the far corner. And Mount St. Mary's staves off another 6-on-5.
Yeah, you know, I think if she would have grabbed that ball on the first try and just a quick catch and release, she would have had a little bit better chance of getting it in. She was coming down and shooting off of the descent.
Curie quickly to Radaley. That's taken away by Baumgarten. We've seen some strong 2-meter defending here in the opening period.
You saw Baumgarten get both those hands up super quick. She wasn't going to get called for an exclusion like she did the last time on defense.
Kendall De Beer swimming into the picture. Marist with a 3-3 set. Dean spots an open Brard, but the skip shot is kept out by Hannah Kaiser. All told, Kaiser had the angle closed down. Easy work for the Mount St. Mary's goal.
Going to say the exact same thing. She had that angle. It's a tough shot to take. The skip shot was hard, but Kaiser was all over it.
You do wonder, Shannon, with both of these teams having already clinched a postseason berth, there being a chance that they will match up again in 2 weeks' time in a playoff scenario, how much each coach wants to tip their hand. Strong shot held out by Sanchez. A powerful try by Radaley. She's shown off that cannon a few times here in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's a great point. You know, I think on situations like 6-on-5s, they may keep some things close to their vest, doing more of the traditional 6-on-5 formations that they've done throughout the season. And once they see the adjustments that the other team makes, especially on defense, they may throw in a wrench or two for the championship in a couple weeks.
Paige Nagel excluded for Marist. So this a 6-on-5 for Mount St. Mary's, and they convert Beatrice Vieira with her first goal of the game.
The Red Foxes played that defense really well. You had 3 field defenders with their hands up, but that skip shot was just placed so well. It went under both field defenders and the goalie's arms.
20th goal of the year for Vieira, who's really thrived this season under new head coach Justin Vink. The 20th goal sets a new career high for her. Shanae Carrington has entered the pool for Marist wearing number 21, a regular starter coming off the bench in this one. Pass into the hole off the mark, but an exclusion on the goalie. They get Hannah Kaiser kicked out, and now the Mount defense has to scramble.
You see the way Hansberger really went for that ball, and just too bad. You know, when the goalie is not in there, the field defenders are not allowed to use both of their hands to save the ball. So such a shame that this opportunity was squandered.
Robin Curie only needing one hand as she tipped that shot over the bar. Marist has had their share of opportunities in the 6-on-5, unable to take advantage. They trail by 1 with 90 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Turnover in the middle of the pool. And Marist will give it right back. Radaley. Dean swims back. Here's Vieira. Defended by Samantha Bentley, freshman from New Zealand, off Chris Vidal's bench. Hansberger defends at point. Good pass to 2 meters, but the shot slips off the hands of Robin Curie.
Padilla coming in on that crash to do some really good damage control on that pass.
Sanchez, long pass to the 6-meter line the other way. Bentley drives it into 2 meters, lobs it up, and puts it in.
Doesn't have to be pretty to get the job done. Those lob shots can be sometimes so effective on these tough angle plays. She wasn't able to cut the angle anymore because the defender was right there, but just a little up and over into that back corner gets the job done.
And what a pass from Inez Sanchez to put her freshman Bentley in a great position to score. Locke pressed by D. And now Curie doing battle with Hansberger. Exclusion on the Foxes. Alyssa Mullaney is out. Mount St. Mary's power play. Radaley thinking about it. A passer to Curie. Right back to Radaley. And an offensive foul. Mount St. Mary's turns it over, can't get a shot on the 6-on-5, and it's the Red Foxes with the final possession of the first quarter, trying to take a lead at the end of the opening 8. Mullaney in the middle of the pool. Bentley, 2 seconds. Bentley from half tank, easily handled by Hannah Kaiser. 8 minutes in the books. Marist and Mount St. Mary's tied at 2 here at McCann Natatorium. Marist and Mount tied at 2 after a quarter, and it's Sanchez with an early save for the Foxes, but Mount St. Mary's would strike first. Their talented freshman Anita Radaley with the first goal of the ball game. Have a look at goal cam as Paige Nagel puts one home for the Red Foxes, donutting Hannah Kaiser of Mount St. Mary's. That tied the game at 1. Mount St. Mary's would have a response on the power play. Beatrice Vieira makes it 2-1 Mount, but Marist late in the first quarter would answer after they were unable to convert on that 6-on-5. Good job by the field players, but Marist would eventually get the goal, courtesy of freshman Samantha Bentley. 2-2 after a frame. 8 exclusions, 4 on each side, Shannon, in the first quarter.
Yeah, we were kind of riffing during the break, saying that's a lot. In the first quarter, 8 exclusions, 4 on each side is a lot. And what is something that I'm sure that the coaches talked about in their huddles was trying to convert on those power play opportunities when you are up. So far, neither team has been successful.
Only one of the 4 goals coming on the power play was Vieira. Other than that, the 2 teams have struggled in man-up opportunities, including Marist, as we saw in that replay package, unable to convert when the Mount St. Mary's goalie was kicked out.
And it can be frustrating, too, because the centers we see are working so hard to really draw those exclusions. There's a lot of pulling, there's a lot of kicking going on underneath there, and the rest of the team needs to rally behind and make good on those opportunities. Yeah,
the 2 offensive centers, Baumgarten for Marist and Valentine for Mount St. Mary's, such big parts of each team's attack, and that comes with being the focal point of the defense as well. Red Foxes with the first possession of the second quarter. Paige Nagel across the pool for Liana Hunt. Berard back to Hunt up top, defended by Emily Van Kerko. And Marist unable to get into the offense. Mount St. Mary's forces the turnover.
Yeah, that's a tough pass to make. You had Vieira really crashing down on Baumgarten. There was really no opening for a good pass to be made.
Easy steal for Rachel Dean, and now Marist in a 2-on-1 if they want to hurry. It's Kendall DeBeer swimming alongside Dean. Dean with path unabated to Kaiser. Gathers it up and puts it in.
What a great job going coast to coast, cutting the angle to get towards the middle of the goal to be able to get a wider angle for a better shot. And also, let's talk about DeBeer taking out Curry. She continued to swim and kind of box her out so that Curry had no shot of defending Dean and trying to thwart those efforts.
Defense into offense for Dean with the assist from the freshman DeBeer, who Chris Vidal was raving about when we spoke to him earlier this week.
Yeah, she's been doing so much, really playing like a veteran leader in there, and is really adjusted nicely to the NCAA Division I game.
First lead for the Foxes, but Mount St. Mary's with a chance to get it back on the power play. Kendall DeBeer excluded for the second time. We'll see how that changes the calculus for Marist, and she becomes the first player with 2 kickouts here in the first half. Radaley gives it up to Cota. Cota and Radaley, dangerous on the 4-5 side. Nice sprawling save by Sanchez. 2 seconds left in the penalty. Boy, that is a combination there on the right. Radaley, the freshman from Italy, and Ana Luisa Cota out of Orlando, Florida by way of Brazil.
Absolutely. What I'd like to see them do on all of these power play opportunities, they're holding onto the ball so long. So many times when you are woman up in these situations, quick, crisp passes to get the job done.
Mount St. Mary's comes up empty. The officials take the ball out of the pool, and it looks like Mount St. Mary's is getting it back. Might have been an unforced ball under there in transition. My eyes went down to the left, but Marist somehow ceding possession.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what that is. You know, a ball under should not be called if there's no defender around.
Another opportunity for Mount St. Mary's, and Ana Luisa Cota takes advantage. Perfectly placed into the far corner for her first goal of the game.
It had to be perfectly placed because that was a tough shot. Had to cross over her entire body to get it into that far corner as a righty, but she is just so good from any angle.
Ana Luisa Cota, the player that Mount St. Mary's built their program around. This is one of the newer programs in the nation. Just their first year of competition. We're in the CWPA for their first 2 seasons. This, their second in the MAC. Tie ball game. Nagel. And before the pass across the pool, Marist earns an exclusion. It's Heather Locke out for the first time. Red Foxes trying to convert their first 6-on-5. Off the bar. And held out by Emily Van Kerkhove. A powerful shot by Victoria Padilla draws iron, and this game remains tied.
Yeah, and it was a great cross-pool pass by Hunt, too. Just a shame that it was a little bit off the mark because it would have been a beautiful play.
A good look for Tori Padilla, who's been a key 2-way player for Marist this year. Have another look at the opportunity that went for naught.
Those cross-pool passes can be so difficult, both on the receiving end and on the throwing end.
Shot clock winding down on Mount St. Mary's. They gotta hurry. Locke with 2 on the timer, lobs it off the bar. 3 minutes into the second quarter, a game knotted at 3. Padilla picks out Hunt to start the Marist offense, and before Nagel can launch one-on-one on Kaiser, an offensive foul turns it over to Mount St. Mary's.
Yeah, again, such a shame. Another beautiful pass by Hunt goes for naught.
That's fine. Kegel, swing it!
Anna Kegel at the point. Kegel's shot is off the mark. Could hear Justin Vink here in the natatorium screaming out, Kegel, number 11. She's got a cannon and can score from anywhere. That, her first attempt of the game, just missed the cage.
But I think Marist really played that defense right because she was out at about 9 meters. So if you're going to shoot from that far, let Sanchez take care and gobble up those far shots.
Marist again careless with the ball, trying to get into their offense. Another Red Fox turnover. They have not valued possession here in the first half.
It doesn't really feel like any team has been able to get into a rhythm so far.
Perfectly placed pass over the defense. All Baumgarten can do is commit the foul. She's out for the second time. Second Red Fox with 2 exclusions. And a power play for the Mountaineers as they look to take the lead.
If she had to swim to try and get over to defend the ball, sometimes when you swim, you have to just swim with those elbows. And what a save by Sanchez.
Cota had a lane, but Sanchez, 6 feet, long wingspan, able to make the stop, but in transition, a contra foul. It is back to Mount St. Mary's, and we've got a timeout in the pool. 3:53 to go in the second quarter. Game tied at 3, and again, Shannon, we see Marist just careless with possession, giving them out an extra opportunity.
Yeah, you know, I know Coach Vidal is not too keen on stats, but sometimes the analytics that I would like to really dive into in the sport of water polo is time of possession, right? I mean, it seems like even when they get the ball back, it's 4 or 5 seconds down the pool and they're giving it over again. And against a team like Mount, who's scrappy and who have already clinched a berth and have no place to go but up in the MAC tournament, you have to be able to take control of the ball, take care of the ball, and not get too careless.
Take another look at the turnover just prior to this timeout. It was a few possessions ago. That was the one that gave it back to Mount St. Mary's on offense. Then Mount St. Mary's would struggle to convert a 6-on-5. Cota had a good look, but it was right at Sanchez. And then with Marist trying to start the counter, Sanchez couldn't even get rid of the ball before the whistle. And we'll give Mount St. Mary's another opportunity.
And as a goalie, Sanchez has a cannon too. You know, her outlet passes, she can go down the entire pool and she's very accurate with there, but you need to give her an opportunity and the time to do so. That first outlet pass is what's gonna set up your offense for that possession and really set the momentum.
Marist defensively with Hansberger, Bentley in the pool, along with Nagel, Padilla, Brard. Shanae Carrington is their 6th field player. Mount St. Mary's yet to come away from their huddle. Teams at full strength. The entire first half has been played within a goal. Mount St. Mary's struck first, Marist answered. Mount made it 2-1. Marist answered 2-2 after a quarter. Red Foxes with the first strike of the second before Ana Luisa Cota tossed one home to knot it at 3. Redaley, Locke, Cota, Valentine, Cagle, and Vieira in the pool for the visitors from Emmitsburg.
A bit of an unconventional setup for the Mount offense. At first, we had everybody on the right side.
It's good 2-meter defending by Kaylee Brard. No clean chance for Becca Valentine as Marist gets the stop. And now Sanchez with a great outlet pass to start the counter. It's Nagel. Her shot kept out by Kaiser.
Great save by Kaiser. Was all over that angle. I would have liked to see Nagel go for that upper corner. She would have had a better chance because Kaiser was all over the near post.
I need a help. I need a help. It's a 5 drop.
Redaley pressed by Nagel. Leaves some space for Locke. And here's Cota. Able to pick out an open player on the left, the junior Vieira, who scores for the second time.
What a shot from that angle. It almost had a little bit of a curve on it. And it was a tremendous snap of the wrist to really place that ball in there, but with a bunch of gusto behind it.
Another assist for Ana Luisa Cota. You see the attention she gets, pressed near the middle of the pool. Able to find an open player and put Mount St. Mary's back in front. Now the Red Foxes search for an answer. Dean guarded by Redaley. And this is Kaylee Brard, a senior from Northridge, California. One of 2 that will celebrate their senior day later this afternoon against Iona, a 5 o'clock start. Lauren Kwan, the other. Signs all around McCann Natatorium, some photos, and fun trinkets for those 2 as they play their final home regular season match, though. The MAC tournament is in this pool in 2 weeks' time, and both Brard and Kwan expected to factor in for the Foxes.
And you gotta love the way Brard plays and also just her mindset as the little lob shot goes for naught. Sanchez all over it.
Locke couldn't get anything behind that. Mara's defense along the 2-meter line continues to be strong. Most of Mount St. Mary's damage coming away from goal. Power play and a quick strike. Marist gets the answer, courtesy of Tori Padilla.
Heads up play to get that pass into her. No defenders around, has enough of a separation just to really power it in. So many times with these 6-on-5 opportunities, the traditional way to set it up is you go on 6-on-5, you do a 4-2, maybe go into a 3-3. But if the pass is there, if you have an open shot, you gotta take it.
That was Ana Luisa Cotta picking up her second first half exclusion. That's a big loss for Mount St. Mary's, who commit a contra foul, and the Red Foxes have an opportunity to back up the Padilla goal with another. 1:40 to go before intermission. Brard for Dean. They give Rachel Dean some space. Will Padilla fire again? Dean shot into the back of the net. No chance for Kaiser, somewhat frozen by what looked like a changeup from Rachel Dean as Marist retakes the lead.
Yeah, really heads up play to get that shot in there. Kaiser wasn't quite in position yet. I think she was anticipating a pass, but she just took it on her own. You see her, Dean's eyes looking the other way. A nice little no-look shot to put the Red Foxes up.
Dean, a player who has earned her opportunity this year off the bench, a lightly used reserve for the majority of her freshman and sophomore season. Did play more as a sophomore last year than she did as a freshman. Now a stalwart in the starting lineup. She's got 2 goals and Marist a 1-goal lead. Robin Curie's shot is wide of the mark, and the Red Foxes with a chance to make it 3 in a row here at the end of the second quarter. Bentley looks for Padilla. Radaley back on defense. Padilla swimming right. Just a common foul. Now it's Brard. Brard lobs it. It's off the bar. Didn't have the angle. Good look for Brard. Just couldn't get it beyond the bar.
Yeah, I think the lob shot was the right shot to take on there. You had a lot of white caps with their hands up in the way. Just a little off the mark.
Mount St. Mary's has looked out of sync with Cotta out of the pool. 2 first half exclusions. Can they score at the death of the second quarter? Vieira's got to hurry. She fires and Sanchez keeps it out. Mount St. Mary's took a 4-3 lead late in the second quarter. Goals from Tori Padilla and Rachel Dean at the death of the first half have the Marist Red Foxes up by 1 through 16 minutes of water polo. Her first goal. Inez Sanchez put Bentley in a perfect position to score. That made it 2-2 after a quarter. Marist with the first goal of the second. Rachel Dean powering home her first. Mount would answer with Ana Luisa Cotta, and then Vieira for her second off a great feed from Cotta, but she would collect her second exclusion, and Mount struggled thereafter. Tori Padilla on the 1-2 side beats Kaiser, and then the final goal of the first half scored by Rachel Dean. Shook Kaiser off with her eyes, found the far corner. Second goal for Dean, 5-4 Marist the entire first half. Played within a goal. The third quarter is next here on ESPN+. Marist with a 1-goal lead as we go to the third quarter in Poughkeepsie. Jeff Brault alongside Shannon Ventry. She played her collegiate water polo at Slippery Rock. Shannon, a close first half. Your impression of the opening 16?
Well, neither team was able to really get into much of a rhythm. Marist was plagued by a series of unfortunate turnovers, and Mount St. Mary's was able to frustrate Marist and not allow them to get anything going. But Mount St. Mary's has a couple of really key kickouts. Ana Luisa Cotta has 2. She's entering the second half with 2, and we're kind of spitballing here saying, at what point does a player come in when they are in foul trouble? Because as you know, in the sport of water polo, you have 3 and you're out for the rest of the game.
2 Red Foxes in foul trouble. Their starting center, Ella Baumgarten, and talented freshman Kendall DeBeer, one of their top defenders, also with 2 first half exclusions. So the lineup changes for both coaches as we begin the third quarter. Brard wins the sprint for the Red Foxes. Nagel off for Emily Shear, part of the freshman class for a young Marist team. Freshmen and sophomores, a big part of Marist's success this year. Shanae Carrington didn't have the angle. Another chance for the Foxes. They go to Rachel Dean, who scored twice. Now it's Nagel at the point. And that shot hits off Carrington. And it looked like it got Carrington right in the eye when she caught a backhand there yesterday. So the shot of Nagel hitting off Carrington, and the officials will take the ball out of the pool to make sure she's okay.
Just really unfortunate placement of that purple eye. You can see that her eye's a little bit swollen, but she was cleared to play today. I think it was fortunate to get off the defender a little bit first to get that second ricochet was the one that hit her.
Yeah, on second look, it seemed like more of a deflection. Took a little of the heat off the shot from Nagel. 12 seconds remaining in the Marist shot clock. They will not get an opportunity. They look for Nagel in front of goal, but an offensive foul. And it's back with Mount St. Mary's.
Nagel seemed to be in really great position there. I didn't see too much of a hook underneath. It looked like she worked it really well.
Dean with a steal at half tank. And then Nagel is fouled by Locke. So it's a power play for the Red Foxes. Second exclusion on the senior Heather Locke. And Chris Vidal will take the ball out of the pool to set up a 6-on-5.
Great timeout. You saw Mount was really rushing down. They had equalized the playing field. You had a couple Red Fox players lagging behind. So he saw that. He took the timeout to give his team a chance to set up.
Rachel Dean coming up with a turnover in the middle of the pool. Dean has gotten it done on both ends thus far this afternoon.
It's what she's done all game. She has such a great vision of the pool. She gets in those passing lanes, so it makes the offense just pass a ride, a little bit of a deflection, and she gets the ball and she's off running. She's got a great vision of her teammates as well, be able to pass off the ball to the player who's coming down the field. We see Shanae Carrington down there, kind of squinting that eye. Did see her tell coach, no, it just hit my cheekbone, thank goodness.
Again, it was yesterday at Siena against Iona when an errant backhand caught Shanae Carrington in the face. It was questionable whether she would be in the pool today. Just going through warm-ups and working with the Marist athletic training staff. You see Megan Murphy there in the gray pullover, first out of your picture, to make sure that Carrington could give it a go. Really wasn't decided until 20 minutes before the opening sprint that she would be able to come off the bench and play. Carrington is in this 6-on-5 for the Red Foxes, a fifth year from New Zealand who has meant an awful lot to the team as a facilitator. Dean at the point, able to spot Nagel, and Nagel converts the power play. So a well-called timeout by Chris Vidal. Marist executes to perfection, and they've got the first 2-goal lead of the game.
Just a smooth setup all around. The switch from the 4-2 to the 3-3 was just gorgeous. That pass was right there. An extra pump fake. Nagel is just so incredibly strong. She's got such an arm on her.
And Chris Vidal saying he believes Paige Nagel is the team's leading scorer. He notoriously doesn't keep statistics. Every once in a while, you might find an Excel spreadsheet with goals scored. But outside of that, Coach Vidal, who uses more of his bench than just about anyone in the MAC, is not concerned with who does what. He's more concerned with how it gets done. And the only statistic that Marist seems to care about is W or L at the end of the game.
Yeah, and when they're on, it's because they're on as a team. From number 1 down to number 10 to 12. They reach so far into their bench, and how lucky to be able to depend on your bench players so much.
Saw that team concept there, defending at 2 meters. Valentine swarmed by 3 red caps. Mount St. Mary's turns it over, and Marist looks to continue the run. They have scored 3 consecutive goals since Ana Luisa Cota came out of the pool. She is back in with 2 exclusions, wearing number 6. This is Cota defending Nagel. Shot clock winding down. Marist gets it off and scores. It's Shanae Carrington.
She made that look easy. Getting enough of a separation between her and Valentine. She just pushed her body away, used her momentum to get up and power it in. What a great shot.
4 in a row for the Red Foxes, who have some breathing room early in the third quarter. Nagel and Carrington will rest. Liana Hunt back in the pool for Marist, as is Ella Baumgarten, her first appearance since picking up her second kickout back in the second quarter. Kendall DeBeer also in the pool. She wears number 16 in red. So 2 players with 2 exclusions playing defense for the Foxes. Radaley scored the game's first goal. Inside Valentine, searching for some water, but Kaylee Brard able to knock it off her hand into the safekeeping of Inez Sanchez.
Yeah, what was interesting about that setup too, you saw Beatrice Vieira and Baumgarten on each other. You saw Vieira try to pull Baumgarten into that center defender position. Historically, that's where most of the kickouts come from.
Dean on the post, slips off her fingertips. Well defended by Riley Thompson, a senior off the Mount St. Mary's bench.
Yeah, Riley Thompson and Valentine really got a great double team on that position to not allow Dean to get a shot off.
Cauda surveys the scene as Valentine cuts in front of goal. They get it to her, one-on-one with Brard, and Valentine scores.
Call number 8 again from the defensive end onto the offense. Got great separation. Was really able to twist her arm around her head to go for that bottom corner. That is a really high difficulty shot to make, and she made it look easy.
Really the first time, Shannon, that Mount St. Mary's has had any success scoring from the hole set.
Yeah, Brard has done a fantastic job down there, locking it down. Got some tremendous help from the field players, crashing the whole set to not even allow many passes to go in.
Kaylee Brard has played just about every role that you can play for Chris Vidal over her 4-year career. Really locked in as one of Marist's top defenders this year, something that initially in the preseason she wasn't too excited about, but Chris said, hey, she just kept working at it, embraced that role, and has become a very good center defender. Power play for Mount St. Mary's. Rachel Dean is out for the first time. This is Mara Davis. Now it's Anita Radaley. Davis has a lane. Gives it off to Vieira, who scored twice. Will Davis fire this time? No. Down to the 2-meter line, a sloppy catch by Emily Van Kerkhove, and Marist kills off the penalty.
Mount St. Mary's was so spread out. Their top 2 post players up on the top were out at like the 8-9 meter, which isn't really a high percentage shot, especially for a power play opportunity.
Just past the midway mark of the third quarter. Tori Padilla battling with Anita Radaley, and Marist turns it over.
Again, one of the things that we said the adjustments had to be made was stop turning the ball over, take care of the ball.
Cauda flips it back to Van Kerkhove. And now in the middle of the pool, it's the senior Mara Davis. Marist begging Davis to shoot the ball. Davis at 7 meters, and before she can rise up, a contra foul inside as Mount St. Mary's cedes possession.
Van Kerkhove is trying to tread out of the water, saying, no, 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 she was pulling me. But in this game, it's so incredibly physical. Everybody's pulling everybody. It's very hard for the referees to see sometimes.
Hunt picks out Brard at 2, and now down to 1 for D. Lob shot off the top of the bar. It stays in the pool for a moment, and yes, Marist will keep it. Foxes try to post up, and that's a nice job by Tori Padilla to draw the exclusion. Anita Radaley out for the second time.
Not only did she do a great job to draw the exclusion, she did a great job of getting in that position. You heard Coach Vidal going weak post, because she worked so hard to get that position.
6-on-5 for the Foxes, and Padilla pays it off. You love to see the player that earns the power play get the power play goal.
Without a doubt. And what a gorgeous sequence of passes think there was an assist to the assist there before Dean got it over to Padilla, and what a strong shot, just powered it right in.
Second goal for Padilla this morning, a player who tends to play her best water polo late in the season, found herself on the MAC All-Tournament team a year ago for the work she did in Marist semifinal loss. What a championship it was a season ago. The Wagner Seahawks, for the first time in a long time, losing in the pool, over a 100-game in-pool winning streak, ending in the MAC championship. The LIU Sharks getting their first MAC championship. Both Wagner and LIU are in the playoffs again this year. Marist and Mount St. Mary's are joining them as the Red Foxes have a one-on-one. What a save by Kaiser. Hansberger right in front of goal, and Kaiser is up to the task.
Unbelievable save. Kaiser was so far out, really made herself big and intimidating in that goal to close off those angles. Hansberger should have maybe pump faked it once or twice, or even lobbed it above the head. I'm sure she's going to want to have that one back.
A critical possession for Mount St. Mary's with time winding down in the third quarter. A 2-goal game at this juncture, much different than a 3-goal game, but Marist is able to take the ball away. Nagel forces the turnover, and again, Marist will have a one-on-one. This time it's Shanae Carrington against Kaiser. Carrington scores her second of the quarter, and Marist goes up by 4. The momentum shifting quickly here in McCann Natatorium.
You can absolutely feel it. What a great job by Carrington of getting that separation away from Kata, going to the center of the cage, and really doing kind of like a no-look, using the momentum of her stroke to get that ball in that bottom corner.
A back-and-forth game early has swung all the way to the Marist Red Foxes. It was 4-3 Mount St. Mary's. Midway through the second quarter, the Red Foxes have scored 6 of the last 7 goals to open up a 4-goal advantage. Justin Vink talking to his team as it is danger time for the Mountaineers. A huge swing with the save by Kaiser. Hansberger had a great opportunity, but Mount St. Mary's could not back up the defensive play with offense. It was taken away in the middle of the pool, and Carrington, who was cherry picking, left wide open to beat Kaiser in the one-on-one. If Mount St. Mary's converted, it would have been a 2-goal game. Instead, it goes the other way, and now Marist by 4, a totally different scoreline. Here are the last 3 goals by the Red Foxes in a variety of ways. Carrington in traffic, Padilla on the power play, and they don't come much easier. And Carrington one-on-one in front of goal, nothing Kaiser could do against the 5th year from New Zealand. Shanae Carrington, early in her career, Shannon, was asked to do a lot of that, a lot of scoring. But as the Marist roster developed as a senior and now a 5th year, her role has been primarily that of facilitator, but she's shown here in this third quarter she can still put it in the back of the net too.
She absolutely can. She has such an incredibly powerful and strong shot. She's got a great vision of the pool and is just such a leader out there. You know that her teammates respect her, and at halftime we saw the team huddling up, talking about what kind of adjustments they need to make. Coach Vidal and his coaching staff were off to the side a little bit. Carrington was really leading that conversation of what needed to get done. So again, we talk about how Coach Vidal doesn't really look at stats too much, and that's a great instance that, you know, it's the we before me, and the team aspect is what has made this Marist program so great over the years. You know, Coach Vidal, over 100 wins already as a coach. He's done a phenomenal job of really getting everybody to buy in.
Shanae Carrington learned how to be a vocal leader from Miriam Lazat, a player who was all MAC for the Red Foxes, really did everything running the show. Lazat now graduated a few years ago. Carrington taking over as the vocal leader, the gritty player. When you've got your vocal leaders willing to do the little things, right, the lunch pail stuff, it makes it that much more difficult for the other players to not buy in. Carrington has certainly done quite a bit to help her team earn this 4-goal lead here in the third quarter. Not at full strength. Did not start this game because she got hit in the face yesterday at Siena in a game against Iona. And she's looked pretty good here in the third 8. Mount St. Mary's almost gives away possession, but a foul on Callahan Brown will give the Mountaineers another chance.
It's the second time that we've seen Mount come out of a timeout and do this sort of clump formation to try and get some sort of a mismatch at center. If only that pass didn't go awry the first time, it would have been a really nice offensive setup.
Another foul on the Mountaineers. Red Foxes looking to keep the run going. 6-1 Marist since the midway point of the second quarter. A power play for the Foxes as they got Emily Van Kerkhove excluded. Marist has looked much better in the man-up opportunities here in the second half. Grace Marcus in the pool, a freshman from Pasadena, California. She wears number 3. This is Paige Nagel. They look inside for Hansberger. It's not there. And now it's the freshman Marcus. Shot tipped over the bar. That's well defended by Robin Curie getting the field block as Mount St. Mary's kills off the penalty.
Yeah, Curie is such a lockdown defender. We've seen her go into every role, play that center defender position or get those hands up. She had that save when the goalie got excluded earlier in the first half. She can really do it all, especially on defense.
3 seconds for Mount St. Mary's. It's quickly to Cagle, but she will not get a shot off before the third quarter horn sounds. A dominant third period by the Marist Red Foxes. They score 4 of the game's 5 and lead it by that number going to the fourth. The Mount St. Mary's Mountaineers down by 4 as we go to the fourth quarter in McCann Natatorium. The Marist Red Foxes scoring 6 of the game's last 7 goals going back to the midway point of the second quarter when Mount St. Mary's leader, senior Ana Luisa Cotta, picked up her second exclusion. The Marist Red Foxes are just 8 minutes away from securing a first-round bye in the upcoming MAC tournament. That takes place in this pool in 2 weeks' time. A win in this game would make Marist 8-2 in Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference play, and the Iona Gales will be unable to catch them no matter what happens when the two teams meet later this afternoon at 5 p.m. Dean for Liana Hunt. And the lefty Hunt. A passer looking for Dean, but it wasn't where it needed to be. Anita Radaley gets the easy steal. Marist done a good job locking up Radaley after she scored Mount St. Mary's first goal.
Of course, you never want to end a possession on a steal, but Marist was able to get that shot clock ticked down to 6 seconds. So at a point of the game like this, you want to try and control the clock, try to get the Mount to fire off shots early and often, get the ball back, and make good on your possessions.
Strong swim by Radaley, not to let Dean get on the other end of that outlet pass.
And so smooth how she just dipped her arm underneath to pop the ball to be in her favor, so she was able to swim to it and come away with the entire steal.
The Italian Radaley, a really good player. 2 years in Serie 1A, the top level of water polo in Italy. She's been a great find for the Mount St. Mary's program. Curie again, and Sanchez with another stop. Mount St. Mary's putting a few on Cage here early in the fourth quarter, but Sanchez hasn't really been tested.
It's been such a mutually beneficial relationship with Radaley, and what a great two-hand cross-face save by Sanchez on that last possession.
She's had a lot of these shots read the whole way.
And again, Coach Justin Fink saying about Radaley, like, she's had such a great experience here. We've loved having her as part of our team. We're hoping to get more players like her from her region to come in and play for the Mount.
And that's how you build a program. You find players like Ana Luisa Cotta, who got this thing going for Mount St. Mary's. You add a piece like Radaley. There's Taylor Wilson. She's out of Hudsonville, Michigan, scoring her 8th goal of the year. Freshman, perhaps another building block for Mount St. Mary's.
Yeah,
making it a 3-goal game.
A precise shot from that wing position, not the best angle, but it was just placed in such a way that it hit that bottom corner on the lob. This is what the Mount has to do. We talk about basketball so many times being a game of runs. Well, guess what? So is water polo. So Mount has to stop the bleeding, stop the runs, and you're not going to do that with that kind of a powerful shot.
Samantha Bentley put it in the bucket right on the right hand of Ella Baumgarten. Easy money for Baumgarten. Second team All-MAC a year ago. No chance for Kaiser to stop that shot in front of goal.
It was a gorgeous pass, hard enough for the redirection, and then that Baumgarten was able to use the momentum of the ball to spin around and place it in that top corner. Great pass and great finish.
First goal for the Marist center. Baumgarten with some exclusion trouble in the first half. That's limited her time in the water. Back to a 4-goal advantage for the home side. Cagle pressed by the freshman Shearer. Here's Ana Luisa Cota. Cota defended by Kendall DeBeer. Cagle again. She's got a lane and a powerful shot. Sanchez to her right.
What an absolutely gorgeous save. Sniff that one out. The lateral movement that Sanchez has is just so impressive. Going from post to post and able to get both of those arms up while still staying up in the tread is just remarkable.
That may have been Sanchez's most impressive save of the morning, showing off her ability. Has a background as a synchronized swimmer. That's where the power in her legs comes from. You see how high she gets out of the water, able to cover a ton of ground with that wingspan. Good stop by Cagle. It's a good stop by Kaiser on the shot from Hansberger. And now the counter. It's Vieira. And Sanchez couldn't hold that one out. It's off her arm and into the back of the net.
Really great job by Vieira of getting that separation and keeping the separation away from Shearer, who is really trying her hardest to defend it. What a powerful shot. Center cage, very hard to defend that.
That's a hat trick for Beatrice Vieira, junior out of Erie, Pennsylvania. With 4:27 to go in the fourth quarter, the Mount trimmed the deficit to 3. Marist continuing to do their best managing the clock. DeBeer for Berard. Here's Shearer. 10 on the timer. The freshman. Back to the senior. Berard looking into the hole, but that pass not where it needed to be. An easy takeaway for Anita Radaley.
What a save. She really read that, got into the passing lane, made her arms look almost like Inspector Gadget going out there and coming away with the ball.
Caught one-on-one against Nagel. Tipped off the bar. Sanchez got a fingertip on it. A good chance goes for naught.
I think college kids today know Inspector Gadget.
You know, they should. Do I think they do? I don't. Do I think that's a problem with the youth today? Yes, I do. YouTube it, kids. Do-do-do-do-do. Just over 3 minutes still to play. Marist trying to reassert a 4-goal lead. Berard skips it home.
I am so happy she took that shot. On the last possession, she had a couple good looks. She's so used to being the one who sets up the play. Why not take one for yourself? And look at that powerful skip shot. She could take any shot she wants from that top.
Kaylee Berard becomes the 7th goal scorer for the Red Foxes. That is emblematic of Chris Vidal's program. We spoke earlier about how he uses more of his bench than just about anyone in the league. It truly is by committee for the Red Foxes, a team, again, that does not keep an official statistics sheet, really does not rely on just one player to carry the bulk of their offense. Heck, it is not uncommon for everyone on the roster to get into the pool. Marist, with almost everyone, I think only 2 or 3 players on their bench that have yet to touch the water in this game. It is no surprise to see their scoring spread out among 7 different players.
And when we talked to him earlier in the week, you know, he made a comment. Sometimes, you know, I think maybe a red shirt year could benefit some of these players, but I like to go deep in my bench. It's who we are.
Take a look at some of the fourth quarter scoring. Easy money for Ella Baumgartner at center. So Baumgarten scores her first. Sanchez couldn't keep out the shot by Vieira. And then you see Brard not passing up the near side. She sneaks it inside the post to put Marist back up for 3 minutes and 13 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter. Mount St. Mary's will need to play just about perfect if they're to win this game or get it to overtime.
Yeah, they've got to make Marist make some mistakes. They have to force the turnovers, get the ball quick. When they have the opportunity right now, when they're setting up a specific play, you have to convert on this play. Really, time's a ticking down. There's 3 minutes and 13 seconds left. You have to make good on every single opportunity and make Marist mess up. Put the pressure on Marist.
Is there a better sight, Shannon, than a smiling goalie late in the fourth quarter?
Absolutely not. The confidence level is up. She's made some absolutely fantastic saves. She's got some really great support from her defense today. Red Fox has got to be feeling really good right now, especially if they can get another stop.
See what Mount St. Mary's can execute out of Justin Vink's timeout. Redaley on the ball. Caught pressured by Hansberg. Now it's Cagle. Will Redaley launch from distance? They find Cotta on the left. Lob shot off the mark.
Yeah, too bad, just off the mark. I have to say, I love these unconventional play setups that Coach Vink has done with his team. You know, when I was at Slippery Rock, Coach Hunkler, the late, great, legendary Hall of Fame coach, had just retired, but he would still travel with us. He would still game plan with us, and he always had these really creative plays up his sleeve, whether it was a wagon wheel or, you know, a double or triple cross with the attackers. It was great, and the way that Coach Vink has been setting up his program makes me reminisce a lot.
Kaylee Brard kicked out. That's the first exclusion on Brard, and it's a power play for the Mountaineers. They've had plenty of opportunities in the 6-on-5. Cagle's given space at the point. Now it's Redaley. Powerful shot off the crossbar. Tough to tell if that caught the top part of the bar, the lower part of the post. Powerful shot either way, the iron holding it out. Let's have another look and see, was it bar out or off the post? Just missing the inside part of the post. Sometimes you get the carom back into the goal off that shot. It's been that kind of morning for Mount St. Mary's.
It's a game of inches, and you know, you can see that right there. I wish we also had a radar gun behind there because, man, that was smoking off of her hand.
Could be a fun one to take a look at on our new goal cam behind the goal in that end of the pool. Time running out on Mount St. Mary's. Good opportunity here, but Sanchez able to collect the off-speed shot. They tried to bluff her to her left, but she was able to recover and hold that ball out. So Locke tried to get tricky with it, and Sanchez not fooled.
No, not at all. And it was a tremendous pass by Redaley.
All right, here's that powerful shot from the goal cam. So you want to be a goalie.
And what's even more impressive, Inez didn't come down an inch. I mean, she was just steadily treading in position there. And no, this is not the shallow end over here.
They had her going the wrong way. Rare time that Sanchez has been out of position this morning, but Redaley just couldn't get the angle. Minute 15 to go, and Justin Vink is digging deeper into his bench. Taylor Wilson back into the pool.
We're P. Go, let's up.
Brianna Wood, wearing number 18, has come on for the first time as well.
Easy, Khaled. Big swing. 1 minute remaining in the game.
1 minute remaining.
Good, Ab.
Marist trying to kill off the victory. DeBeer. Another powerful shot. No goal cam on that end, so we won't get a chance to see DeBeer showing off the cannon.
30-second timeout for the Mountain.
And Mount St. Mary's will take a 30-second timeout. Very well-managed fourth quarter by the Marist Red Foxes. Shannon, exactly what you were talking about. How can you finish a game? And the Red Foxes have done that well.
Right, absolutely. You just want to control the ball, control the clock as much as you can, let it run down, and once it gets down into those single digits, then you can take a shot. Or if obviously if the cage is wide open, then you take a shot. They've also done a great job on defense, really frustrating a Mount offense that has some really high potent players.
Hannah Sayer, Emily Myers, Emily Hatcher, all in the pool for Mount St. Mary's. Here at the end of the fourth quarter. This is Hatcher, a sophomore from Texas. And Marist can just about end the ball game. A 1 second differential between the game and shot clock. Brianna Wood, freshman from Deerfield Beach, Florida. Trying to pick out Hannah Sayer. Marist slows the break. Myers wasn't looking for the ball. Collected by Mullaney. And now Marist will toss it ahead for Callahan Brown. The freshman is fouled. And the freshman will take a 5-meter. Callahan Brown, one-on-one against Hannah Kaiser. And Brown's skip shot is off the post. So Brown couldn't add the exclamation point, but Marist runs off a dominant second half and turns a 1-point halftime lead into a 4-goal victory that earns them a bye in the upcoming MAC tournament.
We saw the Red Foxes struggle a little bit to get in any sort of a rhythm, but however, they brought it together in the second half to really come away with this victory.
That's all from here inside the McCann Natatorium. We'll remind you that all games airing on the ESPN family of networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. For executive producer Harrison Baker, producers Nick Skidmore and Jack Darling, technical producer Mark Phillips, director Ryan O'Donnell, my broadcast partner Shannon Ventry, and our entire ESPN crew, my name is Jeff Brault, saying so long from Poughkeepsie, the Queen City on the Hudson. Marist knocks off Mount St. Mary's 11-7. This has been a presentation of ESPN.